Hello. So, this is a bit of a voice reveal, but, anyway. So, as you all know, today is the 10th year of Undertale. And I just wanted to make a small little video, I don't know how long this is gonna be, but simple video about my love for the game. Well, more specifically, an OST. That being Finale. I know, almost like you couldn't tell from the thumbnail. Anyway, so, why Finale specifically? Well, I have a long history with the song. Pretty much, so for context for this, I'm a senior in high school currently. This all started back in my sophomore year. So, my sophomore year of high school was one of the most overwhelming years of my life. A lot of things happened that year that were just awful. Around, I think it was like October, I had this really bad, like depression that hit me. That honestly lasted until the end of the year, and I'll get into why in a minute. I also lost a best friend of mine, which, made things like 10 times worse, but anyway, for context, they're not dead. I meant, like, we had, like, a, falling out, I guess you could say, and I did not mean they died. I feel like I should have specified that earlier. It's like me adding this in, my fault, man. I'm also, in general, very anxious and paranoid, more so anxious, I guess, at school. I'm one of the more anxious people. Anyway, so, and also classes that year just completely, sucked. I hated my sophomore year. Yeah, anyway, so, also, I was also suicidal as well, which I didn't beat that till, whatever, I'll get into that later too. Anyway, so yeah, where does Undertale's OST come into this? Well, at the end of the year, around the start of summer, I don't think, so we get out, and where I am, at around the end of May, which is earlier for some of you all, maybe later than some of you, I don't know how, Anyway, so we got out of school, and my favorite kind of music is like OST. I love listening to the music from my favorite games, and I've always liked Finale, and I never knew why. Until, like, this time. So, I found myself listening to it, like, a lot. I don't exactly remember why, I just, like, remembered, like, listening to it just for, like, a day straight, which isn't very normal for me. I switch music, like, a lot when I work, or do anything, even just talking to people. And I found myself listening to the song on repeat, and repeat, and repeat. And Finale, and also just in general the work of TOBYFOX, I love his work so much. His music, everything, I love Undertale so much. Very big inspiration for me. Anyway. So, she lost the train of thought, hold up. So, Finale itself gave me something that... Finale actually did two things for me at the time, and this is, probably... Both of them are major, but anyway, the first thing is that it gave me the small thing that went so far in my life, and is still going a far way in my life, and that is simply just hope. Just hope in general. That's people that know me personally know that that's a very big thing. That's kind of a big message in a lot of my work. Obviously nobody watching this video knows that. I've not really gone into the more of the story of my current game, but, y'all will see one day, just saying. Yeah. It gave me hope, and it also, okay, so for context also, retchy-ro is not the first story or first game I have came up with the concept with. I have probably, like, 6 or 8 other stories, give or take, actually more like 5 or 6, but, yeah, and there's one that I've been working on for, like, 3 years now, 3 or 4 years. It's not a game, but it's gonna be a game, but, like, I would just work on the characters, I'd draw the characters and all that stuff. And it's very Undertale inspired. And listening to Finale helped me kind of figure out what I wanted to do for that story. So also for context, I like figuring out the ending to my stories before the middle part. So I already know how retchy-ro's gonna end as a story before I know a lot of other things about it. That's just kind of how I am, or I get a general idea at least. And well, for this story that I like to consider my magnum opus, Finale helped me really visualize the ending for that game and helped me figure out a lot. And also just getting me out of that depressive state, which I didn't really beat depression till about, actually I'm gonna be honest with you, in February of this year, and I'll get into why. Okay, so I was very suicidal and I hated myself. I mean, I still kind of do. That's something I've been trying to work on, but I hated myself for a long time, and I was very close to suicide, and right before my final attempt at it, obviously I didn't go through with it, but I almost did. I listened to Finale right before, and I feel like that was part of the reason I didn't do it. And ever since then I've been like 10 times more happier, also a lot more optimistic too. Yeah, so the work for TOBYFOX in general also has just made me so much happier. It helped me figure out who I was and what I believe in, you know. Yeah, I just love Finale, if you couldn't tell. Yeah. But yeah, Undertale in general is just such a great game. Not programming-wise. I've heard that programming-wise, Undertale's not the greatest. I feel like if Undertale was released like now, it'd probably be made fun of a lot more, because there are a lot of flaws in Undertale, I'm not gonna lie. But it's still a great story to me. Obviously True Pacifist. I also like Genocide too. I've never personally played Genocide just because I'd feel too bad, but I didn't fight Sans in debug mode, if that counts. But yeah, I guess this is a voice reveal too, but whatever, it's Undertale's 10th year anniversary, so. Sorry if I sound very, tired, because I am. I just got home from, like, school, like, not even an hour ago, like, 20 minutes ago, I think. 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. But, yeah, so in short, I love Undertale, and nothing is going to top it for me, because the OST literally saved my life and made me figure out who I was, what I wanted to do, and all this stuff. Yeah. It helped me create this identity, I suppose, because it wasn't obvious. This is not my first rodeo. Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, I'm not, like, famous somewhere else, but, you know. Like, if it isn't obvious, this is not, you know, Grayson is not, my only identity, I guess if that makes any sense. Yeah. But, stay hopeful, stay optimistic, and remember, there's always somebody somewhere, someplace that is rooting for you. Yes sirree! That is all from me. I don't know if I'm gonna make more videos like this, probably not, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, a future teller, I don't know, heck. You never know, in 2 years I could be making my famous game with, Albert Einstein, Resurrected, no, I'm kidding. No, my magnum opus is not gonna be made for, like, I don't know how, probably like a decade or something. Probably not a decade, I don't know. It'll be made later down the road. It's also a 2-part game, the game's involved. Anyway, yeah, seriously though, stay hopeful, stay optimistic, stay persistent, and I will see y'all later.